Good evening, and welcome to Warrior TV, MH Warrior TV. No, I'm not Caroline Bennis according to the TV guide. I'm actually Adam Duval. I'm back, stronger than ever, and ready to deliver the message of belief, ready to kick ass of mental health or mental illness, as we say. And all I've got to say is I have got a wonderful guest today. She is from Nebraska. She's the first last to come from Nebraska. Andrea Evans. Now, all I've got to say is I will see you. How long this video is, I ain't got a clue. Please share this in awareness. Hello.
Hello. Peace, everybody.
There you go. Yeah, I know I should have got onto the StreamYard, Kerry, and changed the information, but we have a problem already. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, but apparently Twitter's not letting us go live there, so who knows? Who cares? Let's carry on. The show must go on. Show must go on. So, Andrea Evans, welcome to MH Warrior TV.
Thank you so much. And you welcome back as well, Adam. Welcome back.
I know. It feels really good. See, I'm already in the festive season, festive mood.
I see. I need to get my tree up. You gonna, maybe tonight I'll listen to some music and go put my tree up.
Oh, you have to, yes. Come on, it's like 2 weeks till Christmas.
Oh, yes. Don't even remind me.
Well, you have to be reminded if you've got kids.
Well, that's true. So thank you.
You're most welcome. Right. I'm going to kick off with some quick fire questions for you to get us rolling. So, summer or winter?
Well, dang, that's a hard one. Can I say Indian summer?
Summer's fine. Right, rain or snow?
I'd rather have the rain.
Yeah.
Go dance in the rain.
I love to. Right, since it's Christmas nearly, what's your favourite Christmas film?
Home Alone.
Which one?
The first one.
Interesting. I think there's about 5 or 6 Home Alones. I only like the first 2.
Wow.
That's it. I don't like the new one they brought out. Don't like it.
Well, I haven't seen the new one yet.
Anyway, are you a night owl or an early bird?
I'm a night owl for sure.
Night owl. Yes. Yes.
Well, when you have 7 kids, when the kids are asleep, that's when you can get things done at night.
Exactly. See, my partner's already shouting at me because she said, "Tut, Adam, having to remind you what to do on the shows. Is that how long you've not done the show?" Exactly. That's how long I've not done a show.
Well, you got this.
Exactly. We do. Put it out into the universe that we have got it. And the last...
Yes, we got this, universe.
Yeah. So, the final question I'm going to ask you is, are you a jazz girl or a pop girl? Now, I think I know the answer to that one.
I think I'm a pop girl.
I would have guessed jazz.
Well, I could get into jazz, but girls just like to have fun, love to have fun. I hear that song. That's the song that came to my head when you asked me. Pop, boom.
Oh, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some fun. Absolutely. So, Andrea. See, this is how unscripted we are. We've got nothing in front of me. I've not even got your bio.
I love it. I love it. We just kicking it.
We are. So, who is Andrea Evans?
Well, Andrea Evans. I tell my mom, I've been telling her since I was little, Andrea Evans is like Tom Sawyer, adventurous, not afraid to try things. Ever since I was a little girl, they named me Frassie, the indigenous women in our village,
Right.
because it means that I've been here before, or I come back as an ancestor, because I'm so, I don't know, something about me. I just must have glow real good. I don't know. Maybe I'm being humble, but my community definitely has uplifted me. So, it's all about Ubuntu culture, which is I am because we are. And it's also, I was raised that it takes a village. And I know for a fact it does take a village. That's how I'm able to be here and have the courage to be on a live podcast with you. So
Exactly. Is this your first ever podcast?
no, I've done two others. One, Soul Food with Sadie, which comes out of Atlanta, and it was on mindset shifting and limited beliefs, as well as, have you missed your blessing, or are you ready for your blessing, I think is what it was. And then also in the Philippines with Myrna Faye on her podcast, Grit, Glory, and Gratitude. And so I'm enjoying the podcast scene. I like it.
So now you're here in the UK.
Now I'm in the UK. Yeah, I'm international.
No, I know Andrea's on tour.
Yes, it's on.
Let's do it, girl.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about when you was a little girl. I think you was a little bit of a mischiever.
Yes, I was. I remember pulling my wagon and going to the apartments with my little sisters in there I got for Christmas. Right. And it would say no solicitation on the building, but I didn't, I think I was about 6. I didn't know what that word meant. And so I would go in anyway and be in there asking for some pop bottles so I can go cash them in. And a lot of those people didn't even drink bottled soda. And so they started drinking bottled soda. And I gave them our phone number, which I still remember to this day. And I said, if when you start getting bottles, call me and I'll come pick them up. So I was recycling. And those big bottles back then were worth 20 cents. And the smaller ones were worth 10. So my pockets, I was always out there trying to get some, money and keep some money in my pocket. I've always been that person. So being mischievous, coming home and asking my grandmother, what does, I'm trying to say the word, I can't say the word because I don't really know. I've never seen it before. Solicitation. And she said, fool, that means no solicitation. You ain't supposed to be in there begging and asking for stuff. And I thought, well, I'm a kid. They won't know that I know what that means when I come in. So that would be a mischievous story of my child.
Yes. So you've always had the businesswoman side to you. Business entrepreneurship. I can't even say it today. Entrepreneurship within you.
Yes. I always have been that way. By the age of 11, we had Lita Powell Drake on our 1011 news station here, and she did Cartoon Corral. And she raised a lot of money for muscular dystrophy. And so you could get a kit and do a carnival in your yard. And guess who did a carnival in her yard at the age of 11 and raised money for muscular dystrophy? Exactly. It's simple. They sent me the kit. How easy. They sent me everything I needed to pull it off. So I just put it together and had a community fundraiser for muscular dystrophy.
Yeah, so for people that don't know what that is, explain a little bit about what this muscular dystrophy is.
Well, muscular dystrophy is a disease that takes over the nervous system in some
Okay.
people at certain points, and to where they can't even, function or move. It could freeze them even. And so when I learned about it and saw the pictures, of the different individuals who have muscular dystrophy, it just touched my heart at that
Mm-hmm.
age. And to be able to be invited to raise money and awareness with muscular dystrophy, that's been something that I've always stood behind since I was 11 years old. I still donate money myself to this day.
Yeah.
Um, I also, I had a heart condition when I was young. I mean, I still do, but I found out at the age of 12. And so I started going door to door to my neighbors and raising money for the Heart Association, for the National Heart Association. And I was 12 when I started doing that.
Wow. Bless.
We would
Wow.
learn things like they would have community events at our park. And I'm the one that's going to sit back and observe how they do things. If I like it, I'm going to try to do it. Um, so I remember there were things that one of the things they had us do was go on a scavenger hunt in our neighborhood, and everybody had a list of things that they had to get on their list. And whoever got back to the park first, whatever group, they won the prize, which was a basketball. And I
Wow.
wanted that basketball. I didn't want the boys to have it. I wanted it. And so I went and I killed the game, came back, and we won our basketballs. Well, years later, my neighbors wanted to make a go-kart.
Oh, here we go.
I went and got me a notebook, and we sat down, and there was a lot of smart siblings were very intelligent, and a lot of the community kids, they were telling us. So we did a list of what we needed. What do you think we did? We went and did that same scavenger hunt in our neighborhood. And one of the boys said, I know Mr. Cecil, I know he has a motor, an old motor to a lawnmower that we could use. I didn't know the first thing about putting together no go-kart. But I encouraged us, and guess what? We was rolling. We was rolling by the end of the day.
So really, I'm not
Yes.
speaking to Andrea Evans, the woman. I'm speaking to Andrea Evans, the tomboy.
Yes, a tomboy. Like I said, I always identified as being Tom Sawyer. My grandmother's from Missouri, and she was proud of where she came from, and she would say, the show me state. So, that's how I look at folks. I'm from the show me state. So, you can talk about it or be about it. And
Exactly.
so I was raised to be about it. If we want to do something, let's come together as a community and make it happen. And I've seen that happen magically many times in my community, in my village.
Exactly. So, how important is community to you and connection?
Community it's pivotal, because to survive in this world, I know that we need those social supports. And when I did the work as parent connector with UNL, and we were trying to encourage the parents to be advocates for their students, and that work helped me to know how to bring empathy about by sharing my experience, and it's called effective sharing,
Yeah.
to help them to move in advocating for their child or whatever the case may be. And so, learning about empathy and then being a trainer to train empathy, that's very important. And one of the key factors that was in this program was social supports.
Yeah.
Trying to help them to realize who their social supports are if they're not really realizing who they are. Or even, the entities, the church you go to, those are all social supports. I think it's very important for our
It is.
survival, because again, I'm about the Ubuntu. I am because we are, and I'm about the village, and it does take a village. If we don't collaborate with one another, we won't survive.
Exactly. Exactly. You need a community to build a village. That's what you need. Exactly. Yeah. So, mental health. That's what all this is about. What does it
Yes.
mean to you?
Well, I remember being ashamed of my diagnoses, and I just wouldn't even discuss it with anyone. I've become more courageous, because I've been diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder,
Okay.
as well as anxiety, as well, and that could lead to depression. So you have to utilize that mind shifting. You know what I mean? You have to find tools to help you get through. I'm not ashamed anymore.
No.
And
Good.
I get more encouraged because look at all those girls that came out from the gymnasts, our gymnasts with Nasser. You know what I'm saying? How empowering is that?
Mm.
Or even the girls in tennis being able to say, hey, I got to take care of my mental health.
Yeah.
And those are youth. Those are students standing up and doing that. So why, I have to be able to do the same thing, especially if I'm going to be that example or that mentor. Because we have to be warriors. That's why I do go to the Capitol each year and do the mental health awareness for children every year. And we get those letters from the Pony Express bikers and, come to our legislature and hand all those letters in, it's all about healing with me. And so I'm taking that perspective and running with it.
Yeah.
We have to heal from the things that have harmed us. We can't stay stuck.
Yeah, well, we always say it doesn't matter if you've got depression, OCD, autism, anxiety, trauma. It really doesn't matter. I've got depression, anxiety, and trauma.
And I have trauma too. And
Yeah, but,
so,
you're still. It doesn't matter about all them labels because that's clearly what they are. You're still Andrea Evans. I'm still Adam Duvall. There
that's
you
right.
go.
I really don't like labels very much, probably because of that.
Yeah.
Even if I work at a position and I'm the manager, I don't like the label. I'm going to do my job, but you know what? I'm going to treat everyone that works with me, and I don't say under me, none of that, who work with me as a team. I thank them. They get paid a check, but guess what? I'm going to thank them for the work I just asked them to do and they completed it. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
have to uplift one another in this world.
I agree.
There's a lot of trauma in the world, but we can't let it hold us back. We can't let it hold us down.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, that's my partner.
Hi, partner.
Yeah, she's just gone into the kitchen. Ain't got a clue why. Who knows? Oh, you're sorting kids out? All right, okay.
But it can be a struggle, because I see where it shows up for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I try to create tools to help me to get through it. For instance, I was on you about, okay, do you have a one sheet? Are there some, can I prepare?
You was on me. You was that nagger.
I was.
The time differences as well. I'm like, really?
So that's how it shows up for me. You know what I mean? I want to make sure everything is, good. I want to have whatever documentation I need, whatever I need. I want to be ready. But you know what? This is fun.
It is, isn't it? We're only 20 minutes into it and we've still got a long way to go.
That's okay, but I'm enjoying myself so far.
Good, because that's exactly what we want our guests to do.
Yes, I'm not all
none of
tense
this
and
anxiety and nervous. No. No. So, It seems you enjoyed your hobbies and your interest over education and school.
I
Talk
do.
about that.
I do. I love to sing. Karaoke
Oh,
is one of
yeah.
my things.
Are you going to sing
Um,
today?
hmm. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to think. There's a song that I love. I'm friends with the monster inside of my head. But they say under your bed, but I'm going to change the words a little bit. Get along with the voices inside of my head. You want to save me, stop holding your breath. Cause you think I'm crazy, yeah, you think I'm crazy, and that's not fair. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Oh, we've had
Yes,
a lot of musicians on this show. A lot of them.
I love that song because when I was a young girl, there was a monster in my closet, and his name was Stymie. And he used to talk to me, and I would hear his dad tell him, "Get her in here," because I think he wanted to kill me, the daddy monster. But my friend Stymie Monster protected me, and he said, "No, Daddy, she's my friend." So when we rode by this house one day, my mother and I pointed at the house and I said, "Mother, I remember living in that house." And she was like, "What?" She said, "You were only about 3 to 6 months old when you when we lived in the house." I do remember being in a crib, but that's why I like that song because it's real to me. You know what I mean? And if the monsters are protecting me, I'm all right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But thinking about it, the only monster is the one inside our head.
That's why I sang inside of my head. I didn't
Yeah.
say closet or up under my bed because you're right.
Mm. Yeah,
You're right.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so I want to talk about education. I really
Okay,
do.
let's do
See,
it.
see, put a disclaimer out there. We're not going to slate anyone, but we're going to put our experience and our opinions across when it comes to it.
Yes,
So, Andrea, would you say you were bullied in school or what?
yes.
Talk
And
about
I was bullied in school. By the educators though.
that. Okay.
One in particular, it was an art class, and I love art, but she made me hate that class. Um,
Yeah.
there was a student who threw some clay on top of on the ceiling, and while she was in front of the class, it fell on top of her head. So since I was sitting in front, she assumed it was me. Now I will say I was the only student of color in her classroom, and I know how I took it when, she came at me and I said it wasn't me. So the white gentleman student, who's a friend of mine, tried to tell her, no, it was me. She didn't want to hear what he had to say. He was fessing up to it. And that woman told me to go sit to the back of the class. And as I was walking back, I called her an old goat, made the class laugh. So that made her mad. And she came and drugged me and put me in the broom closet and in the dark. And so I came on out because, I'm like, this woman's crazy. She done lost her mind. She could lose her job is what I'm thinking. I'm just going to come back in the back of the room and be quiet. She saw me come back out. She took me back in and locked me in there. So I sat on that trash can kicking, saying, let me out. She came back there and she did her hand up like she was going to slap me. And I put my hand out. I said, look here, I need to go to the principal right now because you're getting ready to slap me. You're getting ready to hit me, abuse me. Really? No, let me out of here. And she did. My family came down and we went to the school board and everything in regards to this. I had to stay in that classroom, and then they gave me a little form that she, like a good
Mhm.
girl sheet. saying that I had a good day, and she'd give me stars. Now, I will say, Tom Sawyer came out of young Frassie,
Oh boy.
and she sat right by the teacher's desk the last day of school and was so kind to her as she was putting that clay in her coffee and stirring it with my little pencil and eraser. And so I wonder how Miss Gans might have felt later on that evening, because she drank a lot of clay that class period.
Oh my God.
Mischievous, yes, that little mischievous Tom Sawyer, yes.
Okay. Just wait. So,
So
do you?
I wasn't really bullied by the students. I mean, and the ones who, like, I have a best friend, she was friends with everybody. So, that we wrote notes to each other, and sometimes
Yeah.
she'd get notes from girls that didn't like me, and they say it was going to jump me before class. And so I knew what to do. I'd go to the store and buy a bunch of candy and be standing outside my locker, giving it away to all the kids. And then here come the ones that said they was going to jump me. Can I get some candy? And I'm like, no, I thought you were supposed to be whooping me this morning. So let me close my locker up. We never fought. We didn't fight, because I could talk my way out of a fight. You know what I'm saying? I might act like I'm going to get in one, but they didn't want to fight. And I really didn't
Did
want to
you ever
fight.
have a fight though? Did you ever have a fight?
Well, yes. There were some girls bullying me in grade school, and they would tell me that they were going to beat me up. They'd come by my class. I was in fifth grade, and they would say, we're going to beat you up after school. Now, these are the sixth grade girls. They're a little older than me. So I would ask my educator, please let me leave early so I can, run home. And it was working for me for about a year. Until one day, my grandmother saw me running up the
Uh-oh.
street, and she said, why are you running? And I said, I thought she was going to have, some empathy. And I told her what had happened, what the girls had said. And she said, how long have you been running from them? And I said, well, since about last year, every now and then they do this to me. My grandma said, She told my mother, take her up there. They probably looking for her. She said, and you're going to fight the biggest one, the one that looks like a woman. Yeah, you're going to fight her. And if you come back here and you didn't win, then you're going to have to face me. I'm going to spank you. And I thought, they're crazy. My mom's driving me to the fight. I'm screaming and crying in the back. No, I get out. And I just kind of I just think I went to another place, and I jumped on top of that girl, and kind of like in the movie, what is it, The Christmas Story, when, the boy's on top of his friend, on top of that bully.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like that. And my mom, she snatched me up off of her. We drove her home because we all know each other. And my mother explained to her what happened. She said, Mama said, if you have anything to say or you want to talk about it, come on over and y'all can have a beer on the porch and discuss it. But Andrea's not going to be running home from school from them no more. That ends. And you know what? I never got in another fight after that.
Okay, so from when you was in a little girl violent to how you are now, what has that taught you?
Well, I still saw the village come together, even though, you know, it's different today. You can't, you know what I mean? It's different today.
Yeah.
The village was different back then. But what I would rather have restoration. I would rather do the restorative practices. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Come together, and I'm friends with that girl today. We're Facebook friends. We're cool, you know. So, but let's do it in a better manner instead of fighting. Let's do it with restorative, circles, or, healing circles, or, using the restorative practices to
Exactly.
bring people together to resolve the harm done.
I agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. Because violence doesn't solve anything.
I know. I know, but like I said, my grandma says she's from the Show Me State. So,
She was
yeah.
from the hood. She was from the hood.
And I can't say I agreed with it then. Okay.
Oh my God. Right. Let's talk about when you became a mum. So
Well,
from your experience being mothered to how you are being a mum, is there any similarities, any differences?
I'm sure there are a lot of similarities because I did respect the rearing of my grandmother and my mother, and
Yeah.
my children hear it a lot in the lessons that I'm teaching them.
Okay.
When, for instance, you're never grown because you can
Yeah.
always learn, those things still carry over with my children, as well as spirituality and, the village mentality. Those are the things that I carry over with my children. What I don't carry over, I don't spank my children.
No.
Now, I just try to utilize the silent treatment because I know they're going to need me before I'm going to need them.
Yeah.
And then when they come, we can sit down and have a conversation. I was always heard as a child. That's something that I still utilize today. I still listen to what my children have to say. It's not that ideation of, or the values of, the child is not heard. You're seen
Mm-hmm.
but not heard. I've heard a lot of that in communities, but young Frassie would say, "Well, don't I have a right to feel this way, or to, you know what I mean?" I
Yeah.
stood up for my rights at a young age, and I saw that it was effective with my elders.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally sympathise with that because our son, he's a complete genius. He's not even 10 years old and he's a genius.
I know they
Um,
are.
they are. Well, he's got autism and he's practically Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton in one.
I
So,
totally know. I totally
exactly.
know that.
Exactly. So this is why, like yesterday, I asked the kids to learn about the rights and how you can implement them in life.
Mhm.
My daughter, she went off and did it, no problem. My son started protesting. He didn't want to do it. He was like, "We don't need rights. We don't need them to get a job." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes, you do." He went, "No, they don't." So what it actually took was for him to walk away after he spat his dummy out, to then coming back. We it was my partner that did it. Put a human rights video onto YouTube, and she sat there listening to it. And my son was on the steps, so he could hear everything from the video. And he came in gradually, looked at it, and think, "I'm going to sit down and listen to this." And then I'm like, "Lucas, do you want to join in with this? Do you want to go and get a piece of paper and a pen and start dotting things down?" So we did. And then after we watched a few videos, I'm like, "Right, so do we need rights?" He went, "Yeah." "Do you need rights for a job?"
Mhm.
"Yeah."
Mhm.
There you go, then. There you go.
Great lesson, Adam. That
Great
was a great
lesson.
lesson.
Great lesson. There
And
you
being in
go.
the throes of the lesson, that's the thing. Being in the process of it, that's what makes it so impactful.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. When you became a mum, would you say you was surprised, shocked, proud? What?
Proud. I was proud.
Proud.
When I was probably 13, and my grandmother used to watch those programs where you could send money, for the African children.
Yeah.
And I would say to her, "Please adopt me a child. I will take care of it." Well, I'm the eldest of four girls, and my three sisters see me as a mother figure. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
was that to them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I felt like, shoot, I kept them in line, and I think I could be a great mom. And I would take care of that baby and love the baby. Please adopt me one. And she would always tell me no, she wasn't going to adopt me one until I got on her nerves. And then she would say, I'll think about it. Well, I knew that meant no, but at least I got an I think about it, and whether I ever got to adopt one or not. So I always had a love for children.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you
um,
adopting one today?
okay, after seven,
Seven?
after seven of them, well, I have to say I adopt kids and they adopt me all the time. I'm auntie to a lot of kids. You know what I mean? So if you have seven children, of course, they're friends. They have a lot of friends that are going to come, right? And
Right.
so I become adopted and they become adopted. So, and there are some girls that I've actually kept at my home so that they could get things figured out at home and then send them on back home. So you could say that unofficially, I kind of adopt the children to this day.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what my work is all about. I'm adopting the
Exactly.
community, the village.
Exactly. Right. Let's talk about this book. Yes. Obviously, it's about your life. Right. Where
Okay.
is
My
it
book.
published?
Well, I'm working on my book,
Yeah.
and it's called Frassie's Novel. And it is a book that takes you through the journey of young Frassie's life. That'll be part one because my life, I mean, I'm still living it, right? So there's going to be
You
some
are.
different, some different books, but the first book will probably take you all the way up until Frassie hits about 25. So she has children by then. But it's going back to the trauma that young
Mm.
Frassie had to endure as a child. I was, young Frassie, and that's me. I was molested as a child by a family member for quite a while, and I also witnessed him rape my mom's best friend. And she came in my bed to get away from him. I kind of realized that, and he raped her right there. Um, so as a young girl, I learned to leave my body and escape what he was doing to young Frassie's body when she was such a young child. Um, Having all of the supports, I didn't want to hurt her. Well, my grandmother, I didn't want to hurt my mother. So I never said anything about it until way later in life. And I was out there stealing and just misbehaving. And the state did a mental exam and said that there were two people that I had my issues with. And I
Mm.
was amazed that they could pick those two people out. One was my mother and one was her brother. And so it amazed me that me thinking that I could lie on that test and she came out knowing exactly what was going on with
Mm.
me. I wanted to know if he ever got to my sisters. And I don't know if the psychologist should have told me to do this, but I went to them and asked them, and they started crying immediately. It was like they knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like they knew. One of my sisters that I'm very close with got very upset with mom not being as responsible as we would have liked at the time, and told her what happened to me. And so it came out, but it was after Granny had passed, and I know she knew. Um, I know she knew when she went to heaven, or even before she left here, because when she laid there, and I was pregnant with my first child at the time, no, my second child at the time, and I remember saying, "Granny, wake up!" And I know in my heart, I know she was like, "Oh my goodness." Oh my goodness. And she sat up. Her body sat up in front of witnesses. My uncle, everybody was there when she sat up. And in my heart, I feel like she realized what I had went through, and she wanted to come back and and nurture me. I went to a event, and there was a woman I met, and she came up to me and she said, "You're probably gonna think I'm weird." I said, "No, I'm really open minded." And she said, "Well, your grandmother wanted me to tell you that she's your guardian angel." And I said, "Oh, I already know that. I already accept that. And she said, well, she wanted me to let you know that she's sorry she wasn't there for you. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it at that time. You see what I'm saying? I didn't get it
Yeah.
at that time. Later on, probably about 5 years later, it came to me. That's what she meant. She wasn't there to save me or protect me at that time. That's what I believe. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we believe that the ancestors, they're there to protect us. And
Yeah.
so I believe that. But, young Frassie went through some things, and the book is going to talk about these things, but it's also going to take you to the other side, to the research side.
Okay.
And I'm not young Frassie, so I could tell you how she felt then, and then I could tell you how she looks at that today. The way I look at it today, and the way that I look at, how our life journey is, we go through things in life, and we may think they're the worst things ever, but it's preparing us for the work ahead of us, which here I am. I am utilizing my experience to reach people, to help people to know that you can still be a success. You can still be the CEO of your own company. You can
Yeah.
still write programming that is affecting your community in a positive manner. You can still, so I'm looking at it not from the harm perspective. I'm not staying stuck there. I'm taking you on another journey and helping you to heal with young Frassie. That's what
Mm,
it is about.
exactly. And hence why I created the Mental Health Warriors.
Yes,
Exactly. So,
exactly.
yeah, because we're seeing this as an opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm just trying to process everything you've just said.
What?
Wow. Everything you've just said. I'm trying to
Oh,
process it. Wow. Yeah. I definitely do believe we've all got a guardian angel. I really do. And believe it or not, I believe in spirits on the other side as well. Because for years, since I was a child, I used to bond with this dog from my grandparents, and that dog sadly died of cancer. Which obviously we'll come onto that topic in a minute. But ever since that dog died, it's been following me every single day, every day. Yeah.
well, I know that I used to hear, and I still do where I'm living now, but at the other place before I moved here, I used to hear someone coming up the steps because, you hear the steps creaking,
Mm.
and I could hear kind of a limp. But I'm knowing that my uncle's no longer alive, right? And so I know who it is. As I'm, at first I'm thinking someone probably came in. I hear a door open and shut, and at my girl's room, and I come to find who's in who's in here, and there was no one there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the spirit was there, and when I went to speak to the healer, she said, "Andrea," she said, "he's a male. He identifies as a male, and he's your protector. And when you move somewhere, he's going to be your protector. He's going to be one of your protectors." And I
Yeah.
already knew that too, because when I would hear that anymore, I would say, "Stop it now," or I have to beg him and his mother not to manifest in front of me because I feel their spirit so strong. It's like, please don't do me like that. Don't pop up in my presence because I'm not gonna
Yeah.
want to let you go. you know.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
so knowing that I have protectors and and that my grandmother's my guardian angel, those confirmations that that's to me, how real does it get? You
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. Oh,
So I
totally.
believe in it too. I believe in it. Look, my little, I'm trying to get my little hair to act right. My little bangs. There you
Hey,
go.
it's not about how we look. It's about
Okay, well,
what we express. That's what more powerful.
thank you. It was
Anytime.
in my eyes though. You know what I'm saying? Poking my eyes. Get out of there. So I'm
Well,
good
maybe
now.
I need to borrow some because I'm actually losing mine.
Well, this is one of my wigs, honey, and I could send it to you.
No, I'm all right, thanks. Oh my god! Right. So yeah. Wow. So where can people find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook for sure, as Andrea Evans. I have a lot of um, ways that you can reach me. You can reach me on Twitter. I have a Facebook page called Our Dream Achievers Arts and Science Program. And to get to it, it's on Facebook. It's a Facebook page as well, where we do a lot of the work. And I publicize everything that we've been doing
Mm.
since I started that page. And writing the different programs that I write, you can catch me there. It's Dream Too Big to Fail.
There you
Dream
go.
Too Big to Fail. You can reach me. A lot of people reach me on Facebook though. Whenever there's stuff going on in the community with the school, I am that advocate. I'm that activist, and so I get emails of fights popping off in classrooms in real time a lot of the time.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And so, people send me a lot of stuff there, and that's how they reach me, and that's how I try to reach people as well. I am working on my page, my personal public speaking page. And so once that gets up and running, I'll let you know. And you can also reach me at evansandrea56@yahoo.com. That's my email address, and I check it all the time. So those are some ways that you can reach me.
Exactly. Brilliant. Now, all I've got to say is thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. And welcome back, Adam. I'm so glad I kept saying, well, I'm going to be interviewing with Adam. And then I'd go in and say, oh, I might not be. So it's like, there you go. That's that OCD kicking in.
Exactly. So, thank you to everyone that's tuned in tonight, everyone on the replay also. We love you anyway. Please share this in awareness. I know Andrew's going to share the hell out of this. But
Yes, you know it.
my final question is, would you recommend the Mental Health Warriors?
I would most definitely recommend. This was just like sitting here talking with a friend. You know what I mean? It was nothing to be, oh my goodness, about. This, I think this ran smoothly.
Yeah, you're not the first to say that, by the way, and you certainly won't be the last.
Well, good. I felt like I was sitting here talking to my brother.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Right. We are going to sign off with our beautiful video. So we will catch you tomorrow with a bit of housekeeping. Tomorrow, 8 p.m., we've got our wonderful Abundance Warrior, Anthea Morphetis. She's going to be back with, I can't remember who her guest is, but that's going to be for Attitudes of Mindset. So tune in for that. So we will see you later.
Later, peace.